What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, it's me again, Rashard Brooks. Thank you for watching my YouTube channel. As each week, I discuss for you guys politics and the up-running Democratic presidential candidates for year 2020. All right, so guys, this week we're talking about other subjects besides just politics. I'm going to discuss about a little bit more about racism, which is a very huge subject, okay, to be talking about, especially with all the protesting and stuff going on in the world today, okay. Atlanta police officers found out about recently shot a black male at a fast food drive-thru. His name was Rashard Brooks, and he was only 27 years old, African-American male, and was sleeping in his car around 10:33 p.m. when police walked up on him and gave him a field sobriety test, to see if he's sober or not. Now, they tried to charge him with DUI, but when Brooks resisted arrest, so they say, at the Wendy's, Brooks proceeded with taking one of the officers' taser from him and tried to run, okay? Now, CNN stated, according to the video, that Brooks ran about 5 to 7 parking spaces before even turning around and pointing the taser at the officers. So just imagine this. He's African-American male. He's only 27. He's literally trying to get away from the officers. He's running. He's not standing there fighting them. He's running. He had a little hustle with them for a little bit, a wrestle, tussle, whatever, for a little bit when he snatched the taser. But he took off running. So his back is turned. He turns around. One of the officers telling him probably to turn around and stop or I'm going to shoot. And Brooke decided to turn around. The officer sees Brooke. He reaches down, grabs his pistol, and the officer shoots Brooke, killing him right after he turned around to the officer. Sad, right? Tragedy. Now, first of all, in my opinion, okay, Rashard Brooks was sleeping in his car, not harassing or bothering anyone, not making any racket or noise, sleeping. He was simply sleeping in his car. Now, this is just my opinion, okay? If the officers felt as if he was disturbing the peace or any kind of businesses close by, then why not just ask him to leave? Wouldn't you think that would be the logical thing to do? I mean, even when Brooks snatched the officers in taser, from him, I feel that the officer's life was not in danger. I mean, think about it, guys. Cameras show that Brooks took off running with the taser. Running, which means he was fearing for his life. Brooke was. He see the officers, because it was more than one. He take off running as fast as he can. He doesn't know what these officers are incapable of doing, especially we're in the middle of protests of police brutality. Remember that, okay? So did the officers have to really use deadly force on Brooks? I mean, I think no. I say no. They could have chased him down, maybe saw him, maybe shoot him in his leg or shoot him in his arm or something. But to kill him, I think that was just absolutely not. Brooks should not have lost his life that day, for sleeping in the car. Because that's pretty much what he lost his life for, sleeping in the car, okay? Now, moving forward, okay, the next incident I want to discuss is the black male who was found hanging in a tree dead. I don't know if you guys heard about that story, okay? If not, I'm going to remind you. His name was Robert Fuller. He was an African-American male. His family is very destroyed by what happened, and they want answers, okay? Now, they was really just upset that the 24-year-old Fuller was hanging from a tree in California at the Palmdale City Hall. That's where he was found, hanging from a tree. The Los Angeles sheriff stated that Fuller's death appears to be a suicide. Now, think about that. They see him hanging from a tree and they say automatically they think it's a suicide. Okay, that's what they think is supposed to be, a suicide. Now the Los Angeles sheriff, I'm not sure about that. Okay, I don't believe so, in my opinion, though. I mean, because I had to think about one thing, you guys. Think about this situation. Who do you think really would hang themselves, of all places, in front of City Hall? I mean, what kind of statement are you making to City Hall? Because to me, you would think that if somebody was going to commit suicide, they would probably most likely do it at home. You know, they're probably destroyed by maybe somebody that pissed them off, or, you know, they're depressed or whatever. You would think they would just go ahead and kill themselves at home. But to kill themselves in front of City Hall, that's sort of, I don't know, it's just sort of strange to me. I don't know about you, but I think that's sort of, you know, ironic, okay? Now, do you feel that Donald Trump, which is our president, has a lot to do with the racial rhetoric, you know, that we've been seeing across the United States over and over and over again? I mean, there has been more African American deaths by the hands of cops, sad to say, than any other country. Listen, you guys, more deaths of African Americans, not Caucasians, not Asians, African Americans, than any other country in the world, okay? And we all know that Trump has a history of defending Confederate heritage. I mean, I'm gonna give you an example. He once tweeted, this is what he tweeted: "Those that deny their history are donated to repeat it." What? I mean, I'm gonna say it one more time. He tweeted, "Those that deny their history are doomed to repeat it." Now, on abcnews.com, I found out that they reported during a presidential news conference that Trump was asked whether he agreed with South Carolina GOP Governor Nikki Haley's decision to remove the Confederate flag from the state capitol grounds. And you know what Trump's answer was? Of course, yes. But Trump stated that he should put it in a museum. What are you thinking? I mean, it can't get no better than this. In a museum? Think about it, guys. He's basically saying, okay, let's go take the Confederate flags and let's, you know, put them in a museum. He might as well say it's okay that, you know, people are walking around with Confederate flags. We should, you know, post them everywhere so everybody can be reminded of their history. I'm sure African Americans would definitely love to be reminded of Confederate flags swinging, hanging everywhere. Does that sound crazy to you? I mean, to me it does. All right. That's just my personal opinion, but I really do think that something's wrong with that. African Americans do not want to be reminded of any kind of racism, especially Confederacy, okay? What Trump doesn't care about is how we feel as African Americans. He doesn't give a damn, excuse my language, but he doesn't. He doesn't care about if African Americans are reminded each day of the decades of the symbolism and act of racism through the hanging of these Confederate flags, and how much we get angry because it reminds us of that, okay? Reminds us every time we see it. Now, remember back on August 11th, 2017 in Charlottesville, where many white supremacists marched in protest down the streets. You guys remember that? Demanding the city, you know, not to remove a statue of Robert E. Lee, which was one protester. Robert E. Lee, he wasn't a protester, but I'm sorry. One protester was even ran over and killed, okay, during that event. You know, did you remember that? Trump declared that these to be fine people. That's what came out of his mouth. I cannot make it up if I try. He referred to these fine people as the white supremacists. You know, unbelievable, right? Wrong. Because, you know, we've heard so much from this president. It's so much. Now, since the protesting nationwide of George Floyd, Trump hasn't done much, in my opinion, of nothing. He actually instead, even as we go through thousands who are constantly protesting up and down the streets in every state, in all 50 states, because of the killing of George Floyd, Trump stated that he felt the people were unaware of what they protested for. He also emphasized his defense of law enforcement as being accusations and widespread of brutality. That sounds like Trump, okay? Always coming in defense, you know, and instead of him being on the protester side, instead of Trump understanding why protesters are marching in the first place, why they're in all 50 states, and why this has become so huge nationwide, I mean, think about it, you guys. Our children's children will be reading about this in their history books, okay? I tell my girls all the time. Eventually, they'll be reading about this nationwide protest that has been huge of Black Lives Matter, which is a group that formed to protest against Black people constantly being killed and, you know, murdered during police brutality, okay? So for Trump to be inconsiderate, and you're supposed to be our president of the United States, you're supposed to be defending all the American citizens, including if there's unjustness and unfairness in the Black community, but we're not getting that from you, Trump. And that's why, in my belief, I feel like a lot of African Americans are very angry about what's going on here, because we need a president that actually cares about the people, okay? And Trump is not it. Sorry, he's just definitely not it. You know, I'm sure he sees what's going on, but he doesn't care. Because instead of coming in defense of law enforcement, you should be coming in defense of the people who lives are taken and families cannot bring back their loved ones because of the countless murders of police brutality. That's what you should be defending, Trump. Now, I'm going to stop talking. I want you guys to leave a comment of what you think about all of this, even the subject matters that I mentioned in this video. If you like this video, please click the like button. And don't forget to comment at the comment section. I read all comments. And don't forget to click the like button if you like this video. And I will definitely bring you more videos every week. Let's talk about it, okay? Deuces.